midnight in London, and the Navy's day of battle has begun. Midnight, and your Navy's great patrol bombers sweep out over the Atlantic in search of Nazi U-boats. It's midnight, and the Navy strikes at a Jap-held Pacific island. Midnight in the sun? Yes, for the Navy works and fights by Greenwich Mean Time. On every ship and plane in the Navy, the navigator's clock is set to correspond with the time of the Greenwich Observatory in England. When it's midnight in Greenwich, it's midnight Navy time wherever ships can sail or planes can fly. And at every meridian around the spinning globe, 3 million men carry the fight to the enemy. Midnight Greenwich means 2 a.m. in the Mediterranean. Nazi freighters skulk along the coast with supplies for their forces in northern Italy. But our swift PTs seek them out under the very teeth of their own shore batteries. North Atlantic, it's the hour before the dusk. Convoys which feed our European armies must deliver their titanic load of the implements of war. To guarantee safe passage, planes from escort carriers constantly search the sea lanes. In Greenland, the Coast Guard blast a channel for their cutters, which track down hidden German weather stations. It's 6 o'clock on Lake Michigan as fledgling Navy pilots practice landings on the training carrier Wolverine. Rehearsal for the Pacific. Midnight Greenwich is dawn in India. The dawn of a great day in the lives of these wounded men. They're going home, soldiers from the jungle battlefields of Burma, airmen who have fought over China. This Navy transport, once a luxury liner, brings them back to family and friends. It's 11 a.m. on Guadalcanal, a different island from the bloody battleground of 2 years ago. Here, a great fleet hospital cares for the Blue Jackets and Marines wounded in the Pacific, brings them back to health and strength. Midnight is 9 a.m. in the seas around Japan. One of our submarines strikes the enemy. American raiders have sunk more than 1,000 Jap merchant ships. And on the Atlantic coast of our own continent, the ungainly PBYs shuttle over the sea frontiers. These are the workhorses of the Navy, the oldest combat planes in the world. The U-boats have learned to keep their distance, but the patrols go on. Midnight Greenwich means 5 p.m. in Utah. This is one of the Navy's great inland supply depots where the material of war is stored and started for the fronts. The scene is one of peace, but a vital battle goes on endlessly, the battle of logistics. In the Pacific and Admiral orders, one advanced base size 10, and a city is shipped overseas. Strike the enemy. Strike wherever he can be reached, from the sea and from the air. Our carriers, more than 100 strong, the carriers that your war bonds built, roam the China seas at will. This task force strikes from the storm. The target is Indochina. The time is midnight Greenwich, 7 a.m. in the South China Sea. In 3 years of war, we have forged this new weapon, a force that strikes where it wishes, when it wishes, even in the teeth of a hurricane, crippling, scattering, bleeding the Jap fleet to death. We pay with the lives of our dead, with the blood of our injured. There are no litter bearers in the sky. You come back to the flat top unaided, or you never come back. Midnight Greenwich is 9 o'clock at Iwo Jima. This is what it all adds up to. This is why the Navy fights across the surface of the globe, to put our troops ashore on the enemy's own soil, to kill the Japs. To kill more Japs. And still more Japs. To drive him from his islands, to storm across his homeland, to smash his navy and his army and his empire, so that they shall never rise again. We pay for this. The cost is monstrous in blood and sweat and war bonds. Our enemies thought that we, the people of America, would not, dared not face this cost. We answered, and your war bonds must keep answering so that they will not make the same mistake again.